This is a demonstration of the Atheris Innovations pickguards for Stratocasters. Steve over at Atheris came up with some really cool ideas and put them into motion and made a really cool setup, in my opinion. We already know that the idea behind the Strat is, and the Telecaster even, is that it's a modular guitar. So you can take the neck off, you can swap the necks, you can swap bodies, you can swap pickguards, you can swap pickups, pots. Everything's designed to come apart, go back together. It's, assembly line ready. This kind of really makes the idea of changing pickups and pickguards a whole lot easier, quicker, smoother. You don't have to de-string the guitar or even take the neck off and swing it out of the way. The cool thing with this is everything is plug and play. So everything is actually set up on plugs. There's a plug inside the guitar right here that the output jack goes to, so I can plug it in directly. I can plug each one of the pickups in directly. When I put the thing together, it goes together in two pieces, comes apart in two pieces. The idea of two pieces is that you can take the controls out, have room to get those out of the way, and then slide the pickups out in the pickguard all at one time. So right now I have an EMG 89, which is a coil splits type pickup with a EMG SA. When up, it's an SA. When down, it's an 85. I have the EMG pot. This is one of the pots that Steve uses, just like these. They're made by a company called TT Electronics. Steve also had all of his, or he also uses in his, the ones that he sets up for me on this one. He used an alpha switch with a circuit board that he set up, so everything is plug and play. Now you can also do these with your own electronics if you want. You can put your own switches in, your own switch, your own pots. This one I did my own on because one, I wanted to do it, and two, I also wanted to be able to put an in-tune onboard guitar tuner on it. It's a tight fit, but it fits in and it works really well. Another one I have over here for a humbucker setup that I have is each one is a push, and I can use those for coil splits on this, where I hook up my pickup here, coil splits here. When I release one, it shunts it to ground. I release the other one, it shunts the other one to ground. Have normal volume and tone. In fact, here's the other half to that one. So that, and he's also got some really nice looking designs on here. I like the flower on this one. I like the Demon Slayer on that one. There's a all black Kydex, the same thing that a lot of gun holsters are made out of now. We also have the marble look, and this particular one is kind of a grassy look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play each one in every position. I've got 5 of these set up. I'll probably only use 3 of them just to show you how quick and easy it is to change these out, and show you how easy it is to get different sounds out of one guitar in one day within a matter of minutes. So EMGs, just always fun, hot. Okay, now to change these out, there are a couple things that I like to do to prep before I do it. One is I took a synthetic wine cork and cut a section off of it, and I will take that and stick it underneath of the edge of the bridge plate to hold it up. Swing the arm out of the way, then I come up to the headstock and I pull the strings that are under string trees out from underneath of those trees to give me extra room to play around with here. Next thing, obviously, take the screws out. Now on this particular one, I knew I was going to be using this thing with these pickguards particularly exclusively, so I set this guitar up to be specifically for this pickguard, or these pickguards. So what I did was I actually went in, and if you look, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there are brass inserts where each one of the screws goes in, and I actually use machine thread screws instead of wood thread screws. But Steve will send you the right screws to go with them. The thing you want to remember with these pickguards is you can't use your normal tapered screws because it'll break the bottoms of the holes out, the way how he has these made. So he sends a set of panhead screws that will fit directly in. Now, these are actually cut and drilled to match the made in Mexico, made in America pickguards, so you shouldn't have to do any drilling, and the screws are the right size. So basically all you do is you take the old ones out, set them off to the side with your old pickguard, and then set your new ones in. But this thing goes together so easy, so fun. So once you get your everything loosened up, fingers under the strings, a little bit of a wiggle, and out comes the old pickguard. I like to leave this one together as much as I can because it has all kinds of extra wires in it for the coil splitting, and it's kind of a pain to mess with if you don't have to. I just recommend trying to keep it together. So the next one we'll put in, we'll go with the lace sensor set. This is the rainbow set, so the emerald, silver, and the purple. Again, to put it back in, fingers under, little wiggle, straight in, drops down. Before I forget my string trees. Now this one here is also one that I did with my own pots on it. So I've got all full-size pots. This one has a TBX down in the bottom, which is going to normally makes this a little bit of a trick to put in. So I like to leave the screws loose so that I can still wiggle this around and give myself a little extra room when I need to. So let's plug them in, set it up, and move on to playing this thing again with a different set. So first one is neck, middle, bridge, oh, missed, there we go, middle, bridge, and then as you saw earlier, I already had a set of EMGs which are active, so this has a TRS plug, so it's got a 3-point plug, which means the plug is still the on-off switch for the actives on that, but you can keep that TRS in the guitar and then just plug directly into a passive set, and it's not going to cause you any issues whatsoever. So once that's in, we'll check. Yep, we know it works. So that's where that came in handy, keeping that loose, because I was able to fit that TBX in place underneath of it down at the bottom. So this thing has many applications actually. If you want to A/B pickups in the same guitar, so you don't have to worry about, you know, the tonality of different woods, or whether or not, you know, there's always the worry about whether or not a rosewood fretboard is going to sound differently than a maple fretboard, or, you know, alder versus ash, or anything like that. So this way you can actually, as you've seen, within just a matter of a couple of minutes, have a different set of pickups in it to see if the pickups are going to match up with said guitar. Another really good application for this is somebody who actually just doesn't have a whole lot of room for several guitars, but would like to have the sound of several different guitars. If you got a guitar that you like the feel of, but you want to be able to get different sounds, you actually have the exact same feeling guitar every time you play it, different tones, different tonalities. I have a buddy of mine that I work for sometimes as a guitar tech when he's playing his gigs on stage, where I'll set up one of his guitars that he plays in two different bands, and but has two different sounds. He plays the same, or he likes to play the same Strat if he can, but he has two different Strats. But so what we did was we got him two sets of pickups, two of these pickguards, and set him up with that. And when he plays in one band, he has one sound, and then in between sets, while he's working on the rest of his rig, I'll be in the back swapping out his pickup, or his pickguard and pickups for him, and setting him up for the other band. The other thing that's really cool about using going back to the way how I set this up, I already pulled this out. The nice thing about the way how this is set up is once your strings are stretched in, you're already in tune. So that was a lace sensor set directly from a set of EMGs. Now I'm going to go from a lace sensor set to a set of regular single coil pickups. These pickups were that I'm going to were made by another guy that I know. His name, he goes by Bodean Pickups, and this is going to be his Bo-Hybrid set, which is a Alnico 5, Alnico 2 mix on the magnets. I had him wind them a little bit on the hot side for me because I just typically like hot wound pickups. But Bo does a great job on his stuff too, so I'm going to give him a shout out. Great guy. Both of these guys, Steve and Bo, are both great guys to work with. They've done very good by me. Bo also makes some really good shoulder straps too for guitars. He's made me a really nice one. I just don't have it with me right now. these, trying to think, there was something else I wanted to say on this, but it'll come to me. Here we go. Just about ready to take this one apart. So I have my cork in place, my strings are out from under the trees. I can wiggle this around a little bit. Volume is off. Pickups are unhooked. There we go. Alright, now this one kind of gets to be a little bit of a trick. If you have stagger pulled pickups, sometimes you might run into an issue with them wanting to catch on the poles. So you just kind of got to wiggle it around, play with it a little bit, hold your tongue in the right position, get upset, that kind of thing, you know. But it could be worse. So there we go. Not too bad that time. And again, these have his pots in them, and the TT electronics are really kind of cool because they don't have carbon traces in them like these CTS and the Bourne's pots do. They have they've actually got a plastic trace in them that where a CTS and a Bourne's pot are rated for, I believe it's something like 19 or 21,000 cycles through or something like that. These are actually rated for I think it's 100,000 cycles. So something else that's really cool about how he sets his up is he has the if I wanted to change out a tone cap, all I have to do is pull one off, slide another one on, and he's got this one set up with two different tone caps, and I have a 393 in the bridge so I can tame that down a little bit more, and a 223 in the so a 0.22 and a 0.39 basically, or 0.022, I'm sorry, and a 0.039 basically on the tone caps, so that I can tame this one down a little bit more than these two, and these two have more of the typical Strat tone when I turn it down. Trying to remember which is which. Let's see. I believe one is the bridge, and O2 is the middle. And the nice thing about this is it's easy enough to check too, so you can always see which is which. Oh, got them backwards. I had one marked, or had the neck marked as one. So and I like the way how this thing's set up too, because I can literally carry 5 guitars with me in one case. As you saw at the beginning of the video, the plastic case I had, that's how I keep all of these. I just put them all in that case, and if I want to take them all with me, I just grab it and go. It's a great setup. Plus, it also gives me an easy way to store them out of the way, so I just don't have a pile of them laying around. So, works well for me. And there we are, set up again with a set of single coils. There you have it. So that's 3 changes, 3 different guitars, 1 guitar, 3 different sounds, in minutes between each one. Again, just a really cool setup. If you want to check it out, you can see them online at atherispickguards.com. Get a hold of Steve if you have any questions. He's a great guy, cool cat to really work with. He also can do other customizations on pickguards. In fact, this particular one, a regular pickguard wouldn't fit on because of the cut on the body, and I didn't want to go in and do any cutting on this particular body in order to make humbucker fit in the normal position. So he was actually able to move it back about 8 millimeters or so to make it fit in better. So great guy to work with, loves what he does, and just a really cool product. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.